Hi guys, this is the new AMG GT 4-door coupe. This is the GT63S, alright, that you see here. Now, so the AMG GT 4-door, this car mechanically it is based on the CLS platform, right? And it's available with 3 engine variants. You have the GT43, alright, which is 3-liter inline 6, about 360 plus horsepower, 67 horsepower. Then you have the GT53, all right, which has a higher tuned version of the 3-liter inline 6 with 430 horsepower thereabouts. And here we have the GT63S with the 4-liter V8 that you see in all the other Mercedes-AMG 63 cars. Okay, so if you stand out here, all right, you see on the profile, very familiar. This profile immediately reminds you of the Porsche Panamera, and for the purpose of this launch, Mercedes is showing us a unit dressed in matte black paint, which well, quite unfortunately does not bring out the contrast with these rather retro style wheels. These thick wheels which hide the discs behind them, okay, not something that is in trend today, I would say, but it is a daring design decision, and I applaud Mercedes for doing that. So you come to the front, we see the trademark Pan-Americana grille that you will see in more and more Mercedes-AMG models. In fact, you can see some C200 and C180 owners already retrofitting them into their cars. All right, and now of course, this being the flagship model, you get this laminated 3-pointed star here, which shows that this car comes with auto braking and the full package. Okay, so yeah, very aggressive front end design. You see, this is the current Mercedes coupe design language, right? So with the narrow headlights and all. In fact, you know, if you take a walk around this car, it looks as if this car, you can regard it almost like a CLS hatchback of sorts. Okay, now another interesting design element, the spoiler here, this rear spoiler, carbon fiber spoiler, is fixed. Okay, it is not a retractable carbon spoiler, it is a fixed spoiler, right? Once again, a very it is a somewhat old school design cue, but I would say once again a very daring move nonetheless. So down at the bottom you see very aggressively sculpted diffusers with quad exhausts. Let me try and open the boot. All right, nice. All right, power opening tailgate, but of course you see this raised lip is going to compromise practicality a bit, but well, loading volume is excellent. Okay, there are hidden compartments beneath, and so you got a 12-volt socket here. Okay, hook. No, doesn't look like the seats can fold. All right, so powered closing, and look at the rear end design. I like this sleeker tail lamps a lot better than the new CLS, to be honest. All right, so we come inside. Oh, see that, frameless doors, and at the back you see are 2 individual seats. All right, this car here comes with yellow contrast elements, and so you see here the center armrest here comes with, well, it's not really an armrest, the center compartment here, all right, has a useful wireless charging tray, 2 USB ports, which is interesting because recently you see Mercedes with the A-Class, they have ditched USB ports altogether. They have given you USB-C, but here with the GT4 they've given you back regular USB ports. All right, so these controls, familiar stuff from the Mercedes part bin. And open down this, you see another USB port here with a 12-volt socket here. And let me just sit inside. Nice supportive rear seats. So also headroom up here, but definitely good thigh support, good side support as well. So if your driver is feeling, well, in the mood for some shenanigans, you'll be secured in place. And wow, I like this. I like how this yellow contrast stitching here really accentuates the design of the door card. So you come inside. All right, it is a mix. Once again, here you see these are all common items from the Mercedes parts bin. You've seen this screen, you've seen this vents, you've seen this switch gear. All right, so these are buttons, okay, but let me just see if I can switch the ignition on. All right, so you see here, right, these are physical buttons, all right, but they contain within them screens, mini screens that indicate to you, you know, right, that change in display. What is it that you selected? Lovely, man. This is lovely. This is definitely bespoke to the GT4. All right, okay, now this is a dummy switch. So here is the volume control, and yeah, so here, what do we have here? Okay, inside here there is well, a wireless charging tray in there, USB port here, and a cup holder. This, I suspect, looks like the same tray as you get with the E-Class and the C-Class, but well, it's recessed very deep inside. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, all these common design elements from the C-Class and E-Class, but well, with a nicer selection of materials. I quite like how this carbon fiber trim and the yellow stitching here, you know, I always like multiple selection of colors, contrasts, all right, color contrasts to bring out the design lines of a dashboard. All right, I always like that, and I generally do not quite appreciate single tone monotonous dashboard designs. So what else do we see here? Okay, so here's the bonnet. You see the two bulges here, and we just have a look at the dashboard from this side, from the passenger side. So yeah, you see from this view you can tell all these elements, familiar Mercedes switchgear, but what they have done is that they have really they have put in a bit of effort to reshape this part of the console to give this portion a bit more of a unique bespoke look. All right, but yeah, there is no mistaking that this is of all that you won't mistake this for anything other than a Mercedes cabin. So let's step back and look at the silhouette once again. Very Panamera-ish, and yeah. Okay guys, so let's talk about price. This thing is not cheap. All right, the GT43 3-liter inline 6 367 horsepower starts at 1.1 million ringgit. So it is more expensive than a Porsche Panamera. Yeah, get this guys, 1.1 million ringgit for just the GT43. The GT63 that you see here is nearly 1.8 million ringgit. So this car really is not for the faint-hearted. It is not cheap, okay? But if there is one company that can pull this off, that can pull off such a product placement by having a Mercedes Maybach, an AMG GT4, all right, and right over there also have a 200 over 1,000 ringgit A-Class hatchback, all selling together from the same showroom, all right, legitimately, without diluting their brand value, Mercedes is the one company that can pull it off. It has the clout and the brand strength to pull it off, because you cannot imagine, say, BMW doing a 1.8 million ringgit hatchback that looks like this. Neither can you legitimately imagine Porsche owners not going bonkers if suddenly there were to be a 300,000 ringgit hatchback sitting on the same showroom as the 911. The owners will go crazy. All right, so yeah, that's the GT4 here. Not a cheap car, but this car is an expression. This car is a statement, really, of what Mercedes really can do if this company just to decide to go bonkers and go crazy. Yeah. And you see what's amazing about this is that we all know that underneath this car has CLS hardware, but somehow it doesn't look like it looks like it legitimately deserves a heavy price tag. So even though, yeah, the pricing is a bit on the ambitious side, but make no mistake, it does look like a 1 million plus car. But it's just that I would have thought that at 1.1 million ringgit, I would have been looking at the GT63 rather than the GT43.